Solomon was saying it doesn't.
No,
The way that Solomon was describing community pussy, that shit doesn't exist in like more like wealthy or higher income suburbs. No, it doesn't.
You know what he meant by that? Oh my God, he's talking about the neighborhood.
I know what he means because he gave the definition for what he means. He told us what he meant by community pussy.
You don't know that it exists.
Come on, one at a time.
It's not.
I mean, by definition, it can't because you're saying that this community pussy is giving birth to Pookies and Ray Rays, and Pookies and Ray Rays can't be white by definition.
There has been no rise in community, and there has always been community.
Listen, this is not one of these atheist ghettos where everyone just start talking over people. I don't want to have to do a queue, but we might have to do a queue. But let's try it again, man. If one person's talking, allow them to talk. And remember, you have other people that want to speak too. Don't make it just about you. One at a time.
Florida, you know you're my boy, Florida, but come on. I'll leave it at there because other people want to talk.
Florida's just talking about what he wishes was more prevalent in the Jewish community. You hear him giggling
I'm not even a
about
part of that.
community vagina? That's because he wants more community vagina. Anyway, how'd your day go?
No, my day's going great, Concrete. The reason why
how did your date with Patty go?
The date with Patty? She was on point.
Hey, I just want to say this,
baby.
So I think what Florida's saying is like when King gave the definition, he said Pookies and Ray Rays. So you won't find a Pookie and Ray Ray.
No, this isn't my definition of what community pussy is. This is what King said community pussy.
Exactly, that's what I said. You might find a Ching Ching or Ming Ling inside the Chinese community, but not a Pookie and not a Ray Ray. That's all he's saying.
Florida, I gave it. My bad, Stephanie. Go ahead.
It's like Ming Ming is the equivalency of Pookie and Ray Ray, to which you
not too long to Ming Ming.
But I do agree though, seriously, that part of this issue is the lack of trust due to the lack of communication, due to the lack of participation and involvement in the communities. And I mean, when I'm talking about community, by the way, I'm talking about hyper-local, like your neighborhood type communities, your church type communities, not like the Black community or the Jewish community or like the gay community. I'm talking about like your actual people that you live around. Right? Like, because like, I'll tell you, like, and as millennials, like being 31 right now, having a sister who's a few years older and a brother who's a few years younger, we grew up in this time period where, depending on how old you are, you would go out and play with your friends in the street. You'd go play basketball, ride your bikes around the fucking neighborhood, right? You'd go skateboard, whatever the fuck it was you did. Maybe you'd light shit on fire in people's vacant driveways like we used to do, right? Who the fuck knows? But eventually, it got to the point where, like, by the time my brother was in middle school and high school, he and his friends weren't really going outside like that anymore, right? And that was just a period of 5 to 10 years where we saw this rapid advancement of home computing and video games where, like, this shit started to go online. You could now game with your friends in other areas, right? You didn't have to be in front of each other anymore. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
So anyways, yeah, you'll see this progression depending on how old you are, like very clearly. If you're around my age, between 25 and 35, you probably know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, especially if you got siblings on the younger or older end.
Yeah, but y'all
it's been a direct correlation between the amount of time, the amount of technology in the home and the activity.
It seems like we grew up in a pretty decent environment, so the reason why you gotta be real with what King is saying. The reason why people don't go out is because they live in a dangerous area, and it ain't fun going out. You might be a stat.
That's
Say it again.
part of it.
Yeah, but
No,
I'm
I
saying,
understand. There's definitely parts like that exist, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but what you're talking about is kids not being motivated to go because they have too much entertainment at home.
But the issue is that like people aren't just going. They're not going outside only in dangerous or violent communities. People are not going outside in like safer and wealthier neighborhoods too. That's where I'm starting to get at with the whole like disagreement with the whole it's community pussy like and violence. This isn't the reasons why necessarily because it's not unique to that particular area.
I just said I live in a wealthy black community professionals. Kids are not outside. Ain't nobody coming around here fucking soliciting and doing shit. I mean, it's fucking manicured, clean, fucking beautiful people. Got 2 kids I see
People
outside.
are probably at risk of drive-bys, right?
They're not none of that shit. We good over here.
Back in my old town, when we used to have our residents try to go over, no, New York. Back in my old town, because I'm from the hood. But the point is this, right? And next door was like the upper elite town, right? And used to have some of the children try to go into their parks. Nigga, the cops would just. The cops would take their asses out, bro. You'd even have residents call the police on these people. I don't know about that, Florida. I don't know.
Who told you those stories?
It's not a told me. I've seen it. What are you talking about?
I know the type of guy you are. You wasn't out there with those communities, right? You probably heard your friends talk about it.
Talking about, nigga? What are you talking about?
I'm from New York City as well. That never happened to me. What are you
Hold on, Nerdface. Where are you from in New York City? Where are you from?
I was raised in Flatbush, Bed-Stuy, and downtown Brooklyn.
Flatbush. Shout out to GDs in Flatbush.
Wait a minute. So
You see that? I knew someone's gonna check you, bro.
He's not checking me on anything because he just told me I'm from Long Island. Do you know Long Island? Stop.
That's not even, that's like barely New York, bro.
Okay, whatever. The point is this.
You see how you had to do it there?
That's literally New York.
You know what I mean by it. It's like Buffalo. Buffalo is New York.
It's not culturally the New York that we're talking about.
Who cares? The point is this. I'm from a town called Hempstead. I don't know if niggas know what that is here. That's where I'm originally from.
That's called Hempstead?
Yeah, it's called
Hempstead is hard as fuck.
No, it's
I don't know.
That's the nicest part. They came from Hampstead. That's the nicest part of New York.
There was a town right next door. You could look it up. You could Google Maps Hempstead right now.
Yeah, you don't
and then
want to do
compare
it.
it to.
You might get shot just
Who
Google.
wants to see my chest?
You're a cornball, bro. But you could compare it to Garden. You could compare it. No, it wasn't. You could compare it to Garden City, which is right next door. No, bro. We used to have, bro. The cops would
like I said,
stop.
Vince is talking about stories he heard from other people. He can't tell you the names of those. So Vince, give me one of the names. Give me one of the names of the kids that got what you call it, beat up by the police.
I didn't say anything about beat up. What are you talking
about? That's what I'm saying. You don't know them.
Hold on. Wait. Stop. Nathan, I never said anything about getting beat up. What are you talking about? I said they wouldn't allow us in the parks in Garden City.
You said allow them. Now you saying us.
Kick them out.
In Big's defense,
yeah, that seems reasonable.
Long Island.
We live in an area.
Stop. Hold on. Pause for a second. Nathan, what are you talking about? What being? Why would? Hold on. Wait. So look.
You said the cops. You said the cops.
No. I didn't say anything about no.
Oh my God.
Let's run with your story. Why would we be idiots if we knew we were about to get? Why would we just stay here? Are you dumb?
We say they.
Nathan, I'm gonna ask one more time.
Yes,
why would we be dumb enough to stay there and get beat? Why, Nathan? Go ahead.
Because maybe the success rate. Maybe you guys were. Maybe they were successful.
That's what I'm talking about.
Maybe they were successful. Maybe they were successful the majority of the time, and maybe the couple times when they did get
what
choked up by the police. And what events is that?
Hold on, wait. What you think this is? The Wire?
I was going to
The fuck,
that
nigga?
park after hours. Why are you going to that park so late? Why are you going?
Yo, Vic, what point are you trying to make, bro? Let's just deal with that.
I made my point. Somebody was.
defense.
All right, let me say something then. So, are you done
People
with
come
Vic?
from other communities to our
McKay's not
parks.
done yet.
We literally have to. We cannot have gates around our parks because we asked. I'm in Houston because that would negate our 501c3 status for my HOA. And to Vic's point, now I don't know if people call the police, but they definitely call our patrol. And they will ask you if you are in the neighborhood because we have a workout
that's
park,
normal.
like a regular park. So I'm saying in Vic's defense, that could entirely be true. And we're just a regular middle class neighborhood. We can tell who's in the neighborhood or not. And we even have little decals for the cars. So if you're even a car driving around without the decal of the neighborhood, our paid patrol will literally stop you and ask you what business you have in the neighborhood. So in Vic's defense, that is probably plausible because,
I'm not.
No, but these are.
I wish a non-police officer.
They're saying you're in the wrong town, not in an HOA.
All right, let me say this. So,
Don't be in the park in this town.
one of the reasons you got to remember why kids were outside, and that's because moms were at home and they were like, "You got to get your ass out of this house because I've had enough of your ruckus," right? In which case, all the other kids whose moms were at home had similar issue where they were ruckusing in the house and they needed to go outside. And then what moms would do is they'd go on the porch, kids would go play, and that was why they were outside. Now that you can see that happening on the weekends, and they go to parks and they do that, regularly. Now the reason why it doesn't happen during the weekday is because moms are at work now. That's why you don't have that dynamic of kids outside playing because there's no one to watch them. And the kids that are outside playing with nobody watching, you don't want that because that's some other crazy ass shit.
No, it's because there's nothing to do outside. There's much more things to do inside for kids now, which is...
I'll tell
you still had to go outside.
This just proves that the nuclear family isn't going to work. BLM was right, man. You got to destroy the nuclear family. Go back to the extended family.
What?
You would always have a person in the house watching over the kids.
No.
Concrete is literally proving my point. When I said
I know, right? I didn't want to say that. I said it.
Yes, you see that, Nathan?
Yep, I saw it.
It didn't work outside the home.
He didn't say the father. He only said the mom. The mom was there saying, "I'm tired of the ruckus here."
How is that proving your point?
If y'all want to, you said what concrete?
No. They're trying to say I prove. What point did I prove? Sorry.
You proved that what you just said is the reason why. You know how many people used to stand in front of the screen door and keeping an eye on the kids? They could see them, and that's what we knew. We knew that our mothers and our grandmothers would be at the window or at the screen door watching our asses on every move. So we wasn't worried about being bothered. And concrete is absolutely fucking correct. That was a culture. That was a way of life. Where you could have a black woman, eyes out there on that door or that window, and they can tell you every and you better be with it when she called. So yeah, we could be outside playing because we weren't allowed to run in the house. While we were outside, guess what? Your mama pushed you outside. And the worst punishment you could have gotten is not
Can't
to
go outside.
What?
So concrete,
Leroy, what are you describing?
No, that's
This is so
literally
sad.
what I said. Back in the day, when there were more traditional households, when the men were outside of the home and worked and women were at home, right? That is when you saw younger children absolutely were able to play outside collectively.
Because the men were protecting their communities.
The men were at work, Negro.
Does it matter? The male.
Oh my
See,
God.
this is what I'm trying to say. The elders, ma'am, just stop it. I'm a Nigerian. We live in this right now.
Then why is your Nigerian ass America then?
Right now. Man,
you would still be
King. That's the thing right there, man. You are Nigerian. You're not a black American. You're not an FBA.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does. I'm telling you like this, bro. That's you.
Hold on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's for everybody. So
thank you. This is nonsense. We need to stop this. Family structure is the same across the board when you're building something that is structured. Nerd, let me just say this. What she is describing is it takes a village to raise a child is what started in West Africa. I'm telling you, we still do that today. And what she's describing is what we do today, Nigerians, where the children are being raised by the mother primarily at home, but the father instills the discipline that she reinforces. That's what's missing. That's what she's not saying. The fathers are the ones who instill the discipline, who instill the moral structure that is objective. Women don't do that. They enforce it into the child. Look, because guess what? You know what they used to say? If you don't follow, I'm gonna tell your father when he gets home. And what would that child do? Shape the fuck up. Because the fatherly presence was something that was always lingering around. Was always something that made you think twice before doing something stupid. That's what's missing. That's what they all are trying to hide and obfuscate in this conversation. And I'm fucking tired of it. It's weird as fuck. Stop making it like men don't have a fucking role to play. They do.
Can I say something quickly, Nathan?
No, you don't have a role to.
Nathan, so Nathan, how many hours do you spend on Clubhouse a day? There's some days I see you're here almost 10 hours straight. I even ask you if you sleep. You cannot build a community if you stay on Clubhouse for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day. I'm sorry. Now, why do I say this? Yesterday, and this is something I've told, there's a guy called MBA Omar. When you say build a community, what kind of community? Yesterday, I went to my state meeting and I came up by 10, 11:30 p.m. That's how people build communities various ways. I have to agree with Florida. People are not building communities anymore. We spend a lot of time on Clubhouse, on the internet, playing games. Who are you going to talk to? People even do online dating. I have cousins in America here who have all the people they've dated are online. How do I mean? They met them in some dating apps, in some other dating apps. They've never met a real person that they've dated and met face to face. And it's okay, I guess it's technology. Then lastly, in addition to what King said, I don't know, but when we say community, what roles do your aunts play in your life? Does your aunt have a right to spank you? Let me not use the word spank, to spank.
What happened all day?
I have no idea.
Somebody kicked him to the
OD, somebody kicked.
He whispered.
Yo, can we kick Vig out? Because I'm getting tired of that guy. Even when he's on mute, I get tired of listening to him, bro.
Nigga, Conquer, so we can get the 1v1.
Wait, where's OD?
Let's do it.
Yo, where you at, nigga?
Emotional damage.
Conquer, you definitely not gonna win, old man. Try your
I'm gonna grab you like a black bear. You gonna think you in the Revenant. You gonna think you Leonardo DiCaprio in the Revenant.
I don't know what you think.
By the time I'm done.
Each other out in real life.
Conquer, I have no idea what you think this is.
Wait, where's
you gonna be trying to strike, and I'm gonna grab you,
Go ahead, go for
and
it.
I'm gonna body slam you, and you gonna wake up. You gonna wake up and say, "What happened, coach?" You gonna be like, "What happened, coach?"
Let's see how you do, wrestler.
Yeah, we can see how nurturing all these black men on stage are.
Yes, black men is still financing other black men. Yes.
Yeah, but these are internet gangsters. Like, what are you talking about?
Yes, violence is a.
Who just muted the room?
Kito was probably
Violence is a necessary part of society. Sorry you don't understand that.
Oh wait, but I thought y'all
we will reveal the.
Big is a young black man, and you're literally threatening him.
Oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. That's number one.
Mickey, you're married, right? Mickey, you're married, right?
No, I am not. Y'all always ask that.
Listen, Miki, a young black man needs to be threatened.
Wow. Listen to the white man. Listen to the white man. Listen to the black men threatening you. Trying to tell us you make better daddies.
Yes. Yes.
Miki, we know you women think y'all make better dads. We know that. We understand.
She think that a black man is going to tell his son, son, I'm going to put you in the corner if you don't listen to my words.
You know that.
Bro, you need to be jacking that. You need to jack that boy up as soon as possible, as early as possible.
I'm the statistics and I'm the standard.
I'm going to toss, man.
those are gentle parents, bro. Like gentle parents are better. I'm gonna put you in a corner. Us strict parents and us don't give a fuck parents will whack you the fuck upside your head with that damn flip flop. We ain't kidding.
What is she
Yeah, well, listen,
Gucci
gentle
flip
parents
flop,
aren't
Gucci
the
get
parents
up a
that
lot.
make like
Gucci
fucking
flip flop.
superstars, right? Like gentle parents aren't the ones that make fucking Hall of Fame athletes.
Correct.
Gentle parents didn't raise the likes of Ray Lewis or fucking Michael Jordan.
What about Steph Curry? You think Steph Curry?
Can I
Steph
ask how
Curry
much
was
of
actually
the
very strict.
population you think those people you name represent? Like, do you think that most people are going to become professional athletes?
Even in the white community, like there's like gentle parents.
Is it?
Yes,
Is it
black
more
people.
likely?
That's not why we talk about professional athletes because your child is going to become one. It's because they're identifiable references. If I told you about my homeboy Kareem, you wouldn't be able to understand who he is and what he is. So there's no point in me bringing up Kareem.
But the problem with that is, right, when you try to
Nathan, let him finish, bro.
No, I thought he was finished. Go ahead.
You get the point. You get the point. That's fine. No, I don't have to belabor it. You get the point.
So
I just want to say this: when you make a comparison with yourself and the exceptional, you're not being realistic. You're talking about the real minority, the 1%ers, right? To say that, hey, this person who's at the 1%, you can be able to get there as well. So you're just talking foolishness by having strict parents. You're just talking foolishness. Look at this.
So I want to clarify. Oh my God. I believe that the largest employment industry is the service industry, whether that be, waitresses or waiters,
right,
or customer service workers. So you need to not raise children who beat their chest. You need to raise children who know how to humble themselves, and you're going to have to talk to them in order to teach them how to behave appropriately under different circumstances. Don't raise. Yeah.
What?
You're okay with your child becoming a customer service?
She's making recommendations to black men about how to raise black men.
What Talia said. Wait. Let me just clarify. Let me give the grace.
Talia loves you black men more than you love yourselves.
Give some grace
that's
to
the
Talia.
real. That's the real.
Let me give some grace to. Oh, Jesus Christ! Let me give some grace to Talia that she wouldn't give back to me. So what Talia is saying is, we have to raise our children in a manner that, like, it would be optimal for society as a whole, right? We can obviously, like, we have this individualistic mindset because we're Americans. That's just kind of like part of being an American. But I think Tali's saying we have to raise kids who are able to function in society. Like, we're not supposed to raise a bunch of Napoleons with like a God complex, right? We need to raise children who understand, okay, there's a society and I need to fit in, like, get in where I fit in the society, and like I need to be able to adjust to it. So that's what Talia is.
But if that's all you never get your reparations.
No, look, she's thinking about raising men in one mold, not in terms of a general set of principles. She wanted to do one mold because what she's trying to fight back at is the idea that you're using some sort of aggression or violence in your rearing of a young man, which is kind of normal, right? Think football coaches, think fucking...
Yeah, she wants to...
think military, think boot camp. There's going to be a level of aggression that's utilized because that's what we understand. We understand it, we appreciate it.
Okay, but
we love it and we respect it.
May I?
And there you go.
For myself, may I? So I don't think that the only language that men understand is violence. That's not. I mean,
Talia, it's the one that we understand the most innately.
I know that.
It's the one that we understand most.
Why when men get physical, women think that we're gonna kill each other? I don't understand.
Why are you interjecting?
Because she's saying a whole bunch of nonsense and you guys are allowing
it. She wasn't even talking. Florida man was talking.
Talking nonsense.
Yeah, Vag boy, relax, bro. Listen, Talia.
Backing you up.
Well, listen, I hate to agree with concrete, but I agree with concrete.
Why do you hate to agree with
violence? Why do you say his name like that? I hate to agree with concrete.
Yeah, what was that about?
I would rather not. I would rather agree with Talia, but I can't agree with Talia here. I have to agree with Concrete. Men understand violence more than other things.
No, but
right? That's just a fact
I
of the
just want to
matter.
say this though. So let me just say this. So it's okay when men display that violence with other men, but don't give it to the woman. That's my point. That's my point.
That's not.
I 1000% agree with you. I 1000% agree with you, Nathan. But that is exactly why women can't make the same father figures that fathers can.
Exactly. We're on the age that they did.
Violence just hit different. They do verbal violence. We do physical violence.
We're talking about wrestling, no dating, right? And the thing is, we weren't. Well, if I was to wrestle with this dude, I'm not gonna hurt him, right? I'm not gonna literally slam his head on the fucking. Come on, bro. We gotta stop this, bro. It's a physical sport is also a form of communication. Like, all right, little nigga, like people gotta stop this bullshit, man.
Okay, I understand that. What I'm saying is that
I'm definitely not.
Sports, oh my God. Physical sport and learning how to be a good wrestler isn't really going to help you in corporate environments should you make it there. But what I also said, oh my God, stop it!
Let it finish.
My God. So as I was saying, you brought up exceptions because you said that that's the reference we know. Actually, you're more likely to end up in the service industry. That's why I brought that up. Likelihood of outcome.
Well, you're likely.
Hold on. So we just let her babble like that, huh, Nathan?
Florida go, and then I'm after Florida. I want Florida to go, and I'm gonna go after. Because we all need to smack.
Yeah, we all got to Tina, you
go because Vitch wanted to say something earlier. We cut Vitch off. Can we let Vitch go, then King, and then can we let Vitch go? Vitch.
Go ahead. Then me, then Florida, then Conquer. Go ahead. You don't have to ankle bite no more. You have your chance.
Okay. So look, let me rebuttal that real quick, right? So wrestling is only one component of like physical sport. You said that wouldn't help you in corporation. No, that type of sport actually teaches you about discipline. I don't know if you know that. I don't even think you're supposed to know that. But the fact that you said that is crazy, further proving my point that you're just babbling. Like, again, going based off of the example that I just gave with me and Concrete wrestling, nigga, we're not. Why would I want to hurt Concrete via wrestling? It's just play. Like, god damn.
Here's more egregious.
Wrestlers are also some of the more disciplined athletes too. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish up.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say the more egregious.
Concrete, go ahead, because you were the one. I was supposed to go, but you should go, Concrete, because she was addressing you and Florida, so y'all should go. I'll go after.
The more, thank you. The more egregious comment is that wrestling isn't going to help you in corporate America, right? Yeah. Now, obviously, that is not true. Because we could talk about the qualities that wrestling is going to give you. Number one, strategery. The idea is it's a chess match. Even though it's physical, it's a physical chess match about how you conduct yourself, what your arms, your positioning, everything, right? The tactics that you're going to employ, so on and so forth. Number one. Number two, it's confidence boosting. When you are able to learn a skill and, compete against other men, that confidence transfers from one realm to the other. Especially if you went to school and you got your education, along with your physical capabilities, you have your mental capabilities. There's no detriment to having a man who can do both, physically handle himself and mentally handle himself. That's just a well-rounded human being that's not going to engage in like bitch-ass, what do they call it? Passive-aggressive ass behavior.
Yeah.
So I did say that violence isn't the only language that men speak. So I would say, if anything, you should be trying to create a well-rounded man who can do both. And actually, your daughter.
Yeah, but your idea of a well-rounded man is a homosexual. So we're not going to use that as we're not going to use that as a measure for.
He's right.
We're not going to do that. My bad, Florida. Go ahead.
You're right. It's not the only language that men know, but it's certainly one that we understand the most innately and intrinsically. right? This is why, as young boys, the easiest way to discipline a young boy is to slap his wrist. Look at him in the eyes with a vicious stare and tell him that what he's doing is wrong. Tell him he's not allowed to do it. And let him catch the ire and the fire behind his father's eyes. Let him catch the ire and the fire behind his father's eyes, and he will not feel the motivation to do the thing that his father's telling him not to do, because it's a little warning, it's a little threat. And that
wouldn't he just be afraid of you, though?
Yeah.
Wouldn't he just be trained to be afraid of you?
Yeah,
not know what he's doing that's wrong?
Listen, so there comes a point later on in the boy's development where finally logic and reasoning starts to develop, right? But that's a developed characteristic that doesn't kick in until well after we already are born with this innate understanding of intimidation and fear.
Nathan,
I don't know what age. I would say probably realistically, like 7 years old, maybe 9 years old at the latest is probably when you can start to try to explain things.
Wait. So 1 to 9, you're gonna train your child in order to know what's wrong is for them to be afraid of you.
Yeah, from 1 to 6 years old, at least 7 years old, probably at the earliest. Yeah, I would argue that it's going to be very difficult to try to reason and rationalize with somebody who doesn't have the prefrontal cortex nor the language skills necessary to have that conversation.
That's unfortunate, man.
No, Nathan,
because the way you look at kids, I just want to say this and I'll be done. Can you go? The way you look at kids is how people look at pets, bro. You're gonna raise your child like how you raise a dog.
Yeah, that's not charitable.
That's very charitable. When I say, hey, don't go up on the table, I'm gonna give you the mean look and I'm gonna slap you on the wrist, right? That's how you train animals, bro. Kids are different.
No, that's not true. Man, Nathan, you are killing me today.
I'm just saying, listen, when you have kids, you know that method is not a good method, bro.
It is.
Especially when they get older.
It is. No.
Did anyone in here actually hold beatings from their parents?
Hey, Rick, chill out. I was next. Thank you.
Calm down, bro.
Nathan, I grew up with a father that Flores described it. And y'all know I love talking about my dad. I love him. Love him to death.
I love him too.
But he was a very strict. You're funny too. He was a very strict and disciplined man. And I'm talking about extremely strict and extremely disciplined. We all got whoopings, all of us. But he used it in the context that was correct. That's why we all turned out perfectly great kids. No criminal records, all making my X, Y, and Z. I don't need to go down. I say this all the time. But we all got disciplined. And I was bad, Nathan. I was a bad child.
Oh,
if it wasn't for my father, I know today.
That didn't beat him out.
Yo, Ren, chill. If it wasn't for my father, Nathan, I know I would be dead here in Chicago because I wanted to do everything. I wanted to do everything that I shouldn't be doing as a child. But because of his discipline and the way that he raised us, things turned out better. Great.
You know what's crazy?
What I'm saying, what?
Sorry, go ahead. No, I just want to say.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this. I noticed the same thing with people who consider themselves like bad kids when they were younger, right? They say that the whoopings was the thing that, actually put them on the line. So I'm not taking away whooping off of it. Okay. I'm just saying. No, go ahead. Okay.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that because I know that it took me a while to be honest with myself. But looking back, I know my father's discipline is one of the reasons why I turned out. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't had issues. There are things that we all have issues with our parents. We all, my parents aren't perfect. But I appreciate how I was raised, looking out into the world. And a lot of this, you know what I'm talking about. I do appreciate my parents, especially my father, and how he raised us because it really worked here in America. And we did get disciplined. So
listen, real quick. I'll just piggyback off of that real brief. Coming from an alternative upbringing where my father was not in my household, and the very rare occasion where I was able to see my father and he tried to discipline, he was full of empty threats, right? He was full of empty words, right? When he didn't have any actions to back up the things that he would say to try to discipline or threaten us in any way, shape, or form, right? The lack of having a father figure in a young boy's life leads him into an adolescence and a young adult childhood where he's going to try to make mistakes that he wouldn't have had to make because he could have had a father in the house to explain shit like this to him at a much earlier age. Some things you don't need to necessarily fucking try and then learn the hard way, right? Like, but you have to have that father figure that King had, for example, to understand.
For Florida, you can always live your life like that, just wondering how your life would be with a father figure. That's just unfortunate. So no matter what you do in life, you're always going to have that excuse to fall back on that, hey, life could have been different if my father was in the figure. You know, you need to let that go and just accept the type of man you are now, bro.
Oh, for sure.
What I mean is like this. Like,
it's been let go.
What I mean is like this.
It's just an understanding and a lesson that I understand now, right? That clearly that type of influence and personality in a child's upbringing is extremely important. It wasn't something that I understood before, but now I do, right?
You only know that. The only reason you feel it because you talk to kids with fathers. Let's just say this. Let's say you had a father figure, and let's just say your father figure was involved, but he wasn't that involved. Your excuse is going to be like, hey, if my father was much more involved in my life, things could have been different. And I know the difference with kids who grow up with fathers that are like actually involved, and my father was like partially involved. So there's always going to be something you're going to have to think about parenthood. I mean, the way your parents raise you.
Alright, bro, I was raised by a single mom, yeah, and I'll tell you this for free. See, if that woman did not instill fear into me from a young age of her, fam, man would have been running around on the road, not giving a fuck. Man would have been scared of my mom, none of that shit, fam. Like, half these kids nowadays, they ain't have a fucking beating from their mother, bro. Like, there's kids nowadays that will fucking raise their hands to their mum, which is like wild to me, fam. I could never imagine doing that. You get me?
Rin, I get you, right? Because I can say the same about my mom. She did her absolute best to take on both parent figures. Now, the part that you're talking about, getting beat by your mom, getting yelled at by your mom, these are things that your mother wouldn't have done and wouldn't have had to do if your father was in the house. But she was a single mother. She had no other option but to try to instill this in both sides herself. And it sounds like she did the best she could. She did the best she could.
As a single woman, bro, women are going to have to
can't do it as well en masse. Yeah. There's maybe the occasional mother here and there. Like my mom, for example, was pretty damn good at it. My mom's a big woman though too. She's like 5'10" and like just a strong woman, right? Like literally had the stature.
Florida.
Oh yeah.
So like I'm saying, fam, like if women, like single mothers, don't use violence on their sons, bro, from a young age, it can turn into a very sticky situation when that boy reaches teenage at 15, 16, fam. He ain't gonna have no fear of you. He ain't gonna be like, oh, there's consequences.
He's not gonna have fear for either way. Just because you get beat all along doesn't mean.
Alright, bro, listen. My mom used to beat me. She didn't beat me at anger.
Kids like you, Ren, a lot of kids like you who grew up in single parent homes, who was bad, who needed to get a whooping, you were selfish. You probably was the only child, the only boy or something like that, the youngest or the oldest. Very selfish because you wasn't taking into consideration.
So that's you trying to make.
You was not taking into consideration all the problems your parent had to deal with, and you wanted to be selfish.
You don't know my life, bro.
Bro, can I finish talking?
You don't know my life.
Talk after me.
Yeah, but why you trying to talk like
you sound just like listen, bro. You grew up with a single parent who had to whoop you in order for you to understand. Yes, you're a dime a dozen, bro. You're not special. You're just like any other single parent.
Bro, you don't know my life, bro.
Like I said, you're not special. Your life ain't special.
No,
I can make it up as a
bonus, but it's 80% special, bro.
Okay, it's 80% accurate, bro.
So where you going? What is your point?
Let me finish. Okay, let me finish and make my claim about how selfish you are. This is what I want to do.
Alright, so that you know not, bro.
I'm selfish.
I'm selfish, yeah. I'm selfish.
Because are you gonna let me finish? Kids like you are selfish. You don't take into consideration all the issues your single mom have to go through, right? You don't think about, hey, you growing up, you helping your mom, instead of you getting into those adolescent behavior with chilling with your friends, smoking weed and doing all that dumb stuff, you should think about what your parents had to go through with it. You should talk about what your mom had to go through. You shouldn't want to give her any more stress. But you're too selfish. You always want to just have your way. And that's why you wasn't allowing me to talk. Go ahead.
So now another grown man has done self-projecting about his life because you clearly do not fucking know me. What's my real name, bro? What's my government name? If you know me, you know it's selfish.
I heard your story, bro.
When have you heard my story, bro?
Bro, I got friends who grew up with single parents, and they told me the same story.
So
you're not special.
You go by how your friends.
Okay, let's see how different the story is. Go ahead.
So tell me how your friends treated your parents. You cut me off to talk about your friends. Self-projection, bro. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. This nigga cut me off to say that I'm selfish, bro, and he...
Stop running your suck muscles.
You're an archetype.
Go ahead, listen. You are an archetype. You just said it. You had to get your brains knocked out of you in order for you to understand that your parents were struggling dealing with your bad behavior. You had to get your butt beat to understand that your mom felt difficult, right? She found it difficult raising a child by herself. Like, this is I know a bunch of kids like you, bro. You know.
I don't know if it's like why do you think that it's the fact that he thinks, quote unquote, he's special instead of like saying it's just a different reality for him because he didn't have a father.
No, he's saying you don't know my life, you don't know my life, you don't know me. I don't have to know your life. I know tons of kids like you.
You said he was special. That's why he said that.
Okay, because I'm saying he is not special. He's a dime a dozen.
Well, I feel like that kind of makes it a little disingenuous. Now, I'm not defending him by any means, because listen, I got my ass beat by my parents, and I don't think that it made me special or nothing. We all come from different circumstances. I'm not saying he's got to justify anything here, but I mean, we really don't know his situation, so there could have been a lot of other background things going on that made him the way he is today, or how his mother chose to treat him. We're only getting a very small, window into the things that he's describing, unfortunately.
Yeah, because Nathan keeps cutting me off and saying that I'm projecting and saying I'm special, but that word never came out of my mouth.
When you say, you don't know me, I have an original story. No, you don't have an original story. You have a shared experience.
You gonna have a Kanye rant again, bro, about yourself. Self-project a little more.
Ren, tell us how special you growing up as a single, you growing up with your mom, and her being a single parent. Let's see how different this story is. Listen, when I watch a superhero movie, bro, I know that every superhero movie, I'm like an origin story about how they got their superpowers. Right?
Bro, we don't care about that.
Go ahead.
I was trying to make a point, and you wanted to cut me off and talk about a nigga being special. So, seeing as you think I'm so special, seeing as you're special, bro, yeah, why you love me so much? It's weird, fam.
Hey, accept my go log into that one part on IG and accept all my friend requests. I think I've
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's getting weird.
Can I get a refresh on the topic? It sounds like y'all are talking about single parenting.
Go to the heart, and then you'll see friend requests.
And development.
Dude,
I think parents should beat their children. That's what
Ren wanted to tell us how it was when he grew up with a single mom.
I know, but it's still pretty amazing.
She had enough fire in his mouth for him to understand. And I was just bringing up a single one that, hey.
May I suggest, not as a moderator, but as just someone who sits in here, maybe a refresh, maybe a fresh topic, because this one's got some bad energy. Got a lot of
really someone did
No, we need it, man. We need it. Because I don't know why you're going to tell a little story about how you made life difficult for your mom, but she had not fire up your mom.
When did I say I made life difficult for my mom? Why are you self-projecting, bro? If you're a bad son to your mother, bro, that's on you.
Here's the thing. Now, some parents, unfortunately, make it difficult on themselves, and they do take it out on the kids who are unfortunately just a victim in the situation. I'm not speaking on anyone's situation. I'm just saying, let's be honest here. As someone who was in and out of foster care due to her parents' negligence, sometimes these parents be making it a lot fucking harder than it needs to be. Okay? And sometimes people don't properly address their issues and their trauma before they bring kids into this world, and the kids end up paying for it. It's not fair. It's not okay, but it is the truth.
But we know that didn't happen to my guy Ren over there. He was just wanting to be wild. He wanted to live the tough life. He wanted to be a bad man.
But here's the thing, right? even me, I even went through my shithead phase because I was angry. I was angry at my parents. I was like, y'all didn't protect me. Y'all didn't take care of me. Y'all didn't nurture me. Fuck you guys. I'm going outside and I'm going to be a shit. And I did.
See, only Nathan was a perfect child. That's what everyone's not realizing. Only Nathan was a perfect child. Some people do that in their grown, adult life too.
Here's the thing, Ren. He never said he was a perfect child. Do I agree with some of the things he said? I don't know, because I wasn't.
The same way. I never said I was special, bro. So what are we doing?
So the way that you said your issues were addressed within your home with violence, and how you can't let other people speak here, and that there's no one there to commit violence against you. So you think there are no consequences to cutting people off. That is the detriment of raising your children with just violence. Anyway, Rican, please.
What? I don't know what that was.
That was gibberish.
That was a whole bunch of gibberish.
Hold on. The moderator ceded the mic to Rican. Go ahead, Rican.
I'm going to receive my mic because I have to go into the store and get items for my children. But I'll be listening.
So what I've said consistently about what I believe about child rearing is that if you only communicate with your children via violence, then violence is the only means that they understand consequence. And what I said was, if he believes that his behavior changed because he got knocked upside the head a few times, and there is no one there to knock him upside the head, how does he understand consequence? How?
Yeah, he's contrasting two different scenarios. And then your whole argument is against somebody who only uses violence to raise their child. And nobody in this conversation said anything about only using violence to raise your child.
Exactly.
Nobody's even really talking about using violence explicitly in any sort of fashion, right? We're talking about using discipline and the hard love that a father that a father can provide that instills like a certain level of intimidation and
of fear of violence. Like that's
kids understand, and then they learn, okay, this is bad. Doing things like this are bad. They'll start to understand and possibly develop a conceptual understanding of the way that their father thinks. And if they know deep down, no, this is something that I never came across before. What would my father think about it? They could probably say from previous experiences more than accurately, yeah, he would approve or he would not approve.
He would.
And so this is a thing that a father is much better at doing than a woman.
I think Florida, you're romanticizing not having gotten the shit beat out of you by your father.
No, but don't you know, like, you don't have to beat the shit out of your kids, though, Michael.
Whether or not you do something right or wrong is you're bringing up the possibility of a consequence of getting, beat by your father. That's not why you make a decision as to what is right or wrong.
I think we got here because we started out with parenting, which inevitably turned to, single mom bad, can't raise boys. And then we tried to scrounge up the benefits of fatherhood, which y'all reduced to spankings. That's how we.
No, that's not what we did at all. You keep.
That is crazy.
Let's just go ahead and agree with her. She's right, and let's.
No, don't do that, bro. Don't agree with that.
Only boys understand. The only way to discipline boys is through punishment. It's through beating, and that's how you build a Ray Lewis, bro. That's how you build blah blah blah. You can only build elite athletes through beating up your sons.
But
no, you have to do it through discipline.
Discipline, bro.
Yeah,
But
discipline has nothing to do with corporal punishment.
No one's saying that it does.
So I just want to point out that when you have small children, it's interesting to me that there's so much distinction on how boys present, right? As a parent here, y'all know that y'all are pretty much engaging in stereotypes. Babies are babies, toddlers are toddlers, children are children, right? So
wow, that was the deepest thing someone said on this stage all morning.
And boy children are just like girl children. Identical.
Y'all are like, boys need to be handled a particular way. Yeah, I'm not sure.
They absolutely.
This is the sissification of
y'all
men.
are actually
This is the call.
The old
or the masculinization of women. One or
good point.
Tell that you were not. Yeah, you weren't really given grace to express yourselves. Like men were to be stoic, and not allowed to be quote unquote emotional. But this is also why traditionally boys were not nurtured as much, quote unquote, because you were trying to make men of them, which is very much an old school model. So I just wanted to point that out. As a mom of 3 boys and have nieces and nephews, I think this dissertation is entirely hilarious.
So, Miki,
I can tell that most of the submissions are not from parents,
Miki,
right?
How old are your
You guys
boys?
are not parents, though, right?
How old are your
Am I
boys?
right about that?
I have a
Rika, you are. I can tell you are, but the guys, they're not parents, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a parent.
We can tell.
That is correct. But it's funny that you say we can tell, because there are men that are parents that would say similar things to what we're saying. They're just maybe not in this room at the moment, but you can get them in here, and then you can have a conversation with somebody who already is a parent but holds the same.
Okay, Florida.
Yeah, probably.
Not by your life.
But real quick.
Yeah, but what is a good parent is subjective, right? If they parent according to your style, then they're going to be good parents. If they don't, then they're going to be bad parents according.
Can I ask a question to all the parents in the room? So I'm looking at like a new diaper bag because mine ran a hole in it, and I have this problem where I want to make sure it's unisex so that like I can put both my. I don't know. I'm weird about it. But any good diaper bag recommendations?
Get one on Amazon.
Yeah, get it.
It sounds like plain. It sounds like plain black or plain white would probably be the best.
Yeah. Get a backpack, Rican. It's easier to carry.
What does the backpack color fucking matter, though? What does the backpack color really matter?
No, it's not a backpack. Shut the fuck up. This is very.
Hey, what does your diaper bag's fucking color matter, though? Like,
Okay, great. Just one at a time. Did you address specifically the parents, Rican? In which case, some of you should pipe.
Yes. If you do not have
bro.
I'm gonna need you to chill.
You don't do more self-projection.
No, it's not.
You know what projection means.
Yeah, but Rican, he does bring up a good question. Why does the color of the
what does the color matter?
I'm telling you, I literally just bought a bag the other day.
And a daughter.
Go on Amazon.
Wait, so I can't. So there's this thing. Wait, there's this thing I can't hear when 2 people talk. I haven't evolutionary advanced to that level yet.
Get on evolution.
You weren't raised in a jungle, Louis.
Can just one person speak so we could hear?
You weren't raised in a jungle. I myself have the same issue.
You guys are
Rican, did you get a chance to answer the question? Why the color matters?
You cut her off,
Shut
bro.
the fuck up, Ren. My God.
But you cut her off.
Say the color matters.
I was moderating. I know you don't know what order looks like, but this is it. This is the creation of order.
Just cut her off again.
Y'all come to get y'all shit off.
Here's the crazy part.
Very fucking relevant as Seder is coming up. Look at that. Look at all the Jews.
So
Anyway,
Can we let Rika answer the question?
oh
hold
my
on,
God.
shut up. So Rican,
No.
you're asking a question about.
Y'all talk about.
Regan, you're asking a question about the color of a bag that you would prefer to be gender neutral. Number one, I'm not sure why somebody has to be a parent to be qualified.
That's not why.
Number two, I don't understand why you don't understand that the easiest solution to this would be to go with a neutral color, like either black, gray, or white. That's obviously
that
the
why you're
answer.
asking?
Why are you derailing the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
I wanted to have
Wait,
little
it's
designs
Rican.
on it and
Why are
stuff,
you talking?
but I also
Because she was being addressed.
No, she's talking. He's talking to Rican, not you.
No, I understand that.
It's really frustrating. No, but it's really frustrating. No. Wait, listen. It's very frustrating when someone asks someone a question and someone else jumps off the mic. Stop doing that. Like, I actually want to hear her response.
Focus.
I want to hear her response.
For the color of the bag because you need it to be gender neutral.
Jesus Christ, yo.
This is what the matriarchy looks like.
Did you hear what my question was?
This is weird entitlement.
Why is Rican not able to comprehend that gender neutral colors? How is Rican as a
to clarify what you said? Rican, are the reason why you are asking about the color of the bag because you want it to be gender neutral?
Because my husband goes, yes, because I have a son and a daughter.
Well then don't take my advice.
My wonderful husband also takes the children out, and I don't want him to have to wear a flower backpack.
So that's why I'm saying just go with plain black or gray. That would be your husband's preference guaranteed.
What's wrong with the flower bag? I'll carry a flower bag.
Really pretty green.
Sounds like your man ain't a manly man.
The color of your pants.
How is that not manly? A man wouldn't give a fuck, bro. He's holding the bag.
It's true. He's holding a bag of diapers for a baby. Honestly, it wouldn't matter to most of us.
A man don't give a
If
fuck
you
about
get
what
a man with flowers on it, he probably will wear it with pride if you've got a...
Exactly. It's your kid, bro. Who gives a fuck? That's what a man would do. He wouldn't give a fuck.
Right?
Rican, does he like Marvel or something?
No.
Get him something that has like a basketball.
I'm in the chillism room.
Can it come to brown eyes?
Hold on, well, yes, Theodore, you do have brown eyes, and they're very beautiful.
Can you not? We don't want to go shopping with you and your kid. No offense. Just choose
Can
out a
you
color that
log into your Instagram account and accept the Zen book and
I
CNC
need a
education?
gender neutral bag. Like, we'll get back to the convo.
Yael actually said the most accurate thing right there. We don't really...
Except all of them, but I texted you the ones that I'm live on right now.
Ask your kid what color.
That's fine. Follow and accept them all.
I did junior neutral.
If your kid is talking, why is your kid still in fucking?
And if your man, like Lou said, is a man, he wouldn't give a fuck about what color or what pattern is on that bag. You see how Florida's wearing salmon, yeah?
Can we go back to talking about what we were talking about before? Fucking dumb thing.
Florida, you wearing salmon in your PTR?
You damn right.
Well, let's go back to what we were talking about before the bag, dude.
Stage needs moderation.
Yeah, the outfit's manly. The bag's quick, however.
Yeah, what were we talking about before Rican? So
boys, girls, and how to discipline them, stereotypes in regards to how to raise a kid, and so on.
All the childless men were speaking up about what great dads they'll mythically make in the future.
Wait.
Oh yeah,
Monica,
that's right.
You have kids?
Don't take the bait, Louis. Louis, don't take the bait. We're all gonna suffer.
No, I'm just wondering.
That you're asking about. You're asking men about, our parents.
I don't.
But
Yo, Louis, chill, dog.
Yo, Florida, what an added element.
Chill. Not this morning.
Louis
is choosing violence.
Somebody didn't get enough hugs as children. We can tell. Y'all are triggered by everything.
You are obviously a man hater, and we don't you're obviously a man hater. I've heard you enough times.
Listen.
I understand your rhetoric.
You guys need a hobby this morning. Whether you need to pick up a hobby, I would encourage something that involves going to the range. That would incur either a driving range and playing golf, or a shooting range and firing some lead. Just pick a new hobby and go do it.
What I want to know is McKay said earlier that like men were allowed to be expressive. Like, how did we determine that? I never grew up with that. Like,
wait, run it back, Mark. Run that back.
She was saying that like
Florida,
men were like forced to be stoic.
You pick a new hobby, boo boo. We got that covered over here.
And so like,
that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Where she got that from?
What did you say?
Mickey. You're a queen.
You were saying that you were talking about the people in this room being stereotypical, yet you relied on stereotypical things like men forcing to be stoic and not be expressive. And I was like, okay, well that doesn't really kind of flow together. But how did you determine that men were forced to be stoic? Where is that coming from?
Are you serious? First of all,
I am forced.
That is not a stereotype.
And then just to let you know, I'm a man too, and so I'm a serious man asking you a serious question. Yeah.
No, and I'm going to answer you seriously. So there have been numerous studies into the psychology of how men are not allowed to be emotional, especially when it comes to Black men, right? So there's even been recent studies into how Black men are basically made men at an early age, right? Hence, like even the terminology like, hey, little man, or you're the father of the house, right? So we do not allow boys to have the same emotional expression as young girls. I'm not sure that anyone would actually dispute that.
Yeah, hold on. So these studies, were they surveys? Did they fucking read the mind? Like, what was the group setting in the sense of to determine that because this setting here of X amount of people determines the whole? Like, people like to say studies, but like, how did you determine through a study that that's the case? Even the examples you gave doesn't prevent anybody from being emotional because somebody is the man of the house or whatever. But I would like to know, did you read how the study was conducted and how many people were involved?
Actually, like I said, there's been numerous studies.
So no, you haven't.
Even yes, actually, I have.
They're gonna ask
So
somebody.
are you gonna let me speak? Because what I can tell now is that you did not get validation as a child, which is why you keep interrupting me and you're very angry at me.
Why do you keep taking these cheap shots to me, Keith?
So you want me to play pet psychology?
You're not. I don't know if you're in a position to keep taking these cheap shots.
This man is literally angry because he asked me a question and I'm not answering in the manner that he likes.
Am I not expressing myself?
That's indicative of childhood trauma.
Or now you tell me not to.
No, just an impatience for gaslighter.
Okay, well then, are you gonna let me? Okay, go ahead, boo boo. Go ahead. So you're triggered because an internet stranger expressed an opinion. Are you okay?
It might be. So what? I'm expressing myself. Are you trying to prevent me from doing that, woman?
I'm literally trying to answer your question. Did you ask me a question to antagonize me?
You already did.
Is this how you feel a man behaves? Is this masculine behavior to you?
And you're actually dumb because you made a fucking stupid comment, bro. You don't know shit.
Oh, okay.
You were the stereotypical one.
Okay. Thank you. That was so genuine. And what we can now point to, ladies and gentlemen, boys. Oh, he's not finished.
You know what I found the saddest thing, real quick, to bring this back to a level of conversation instead of an argument. I've found it most disturbing that over the last 4 years, there's been the advent of a new political quasi-organization type thing, and they're calling it fatherhood.gov.